All right. Well, welcome everybody. So see, this is what, when you're not live, you miss the chit chat and the, just sharing of kind of what's happening in our lives. So, I mean, we are beauty consultants, but we also are wives and mothers and teachers and school administrators and teachers. We're everything. And we are just, beauty is just something that we love, and we have incorporated it into our lives. So we're excited for those that have joined us live. And Dot is the teacher of all teachers. When I tell you that Dot keeps me in check with my grammar and everything else, that is an understatement. But I love it, Dot, because you have a spirit of excellence that you want to have all of us adhere to, and that's a good thing. So thank you. I just want you to know that I appreciate it. So anyway, tonight we're talking about sponsoring, and I think that there is kind of a misnomer, or there's a fear of thinking about sponsoring. You hear the word recruiting. I don't necessarily like recruiting because that sounds like you're going out and get ready to get somebody to join the army or something. But sponsoring is a softer way of talking about what really direct selling is kind of all about. You hear references about MLMs, multi-level marketing, network marketing, and really the MLMs probably have the most negative reputation out in the marketplace, because you hear about so many programs where they're like Ponzi schemes and things like that, where people sponsor other people in the business, and then it's really just it's a pyramid, where they're trying to stack people on top of each other. But we have similarities to the MLM, but we just are, I classify us more as more network marketers, because if we are doing the business the way that we should be networking to get our clients. We should be networking to share the opportunity, and we should be networking to be able to just brand ourselves as beauty influencers, which is what we are. So tonight we're just going to, go through some basics. If you decide that you want to, pick up the mantle and go out and start recruiting, there is recruiting sponsoring. You'll see that there is a way for you to get help in that. In more cases than not, particularly when you're new, we encourage you to invite people to hear about the opportunity and then connect with your sponsor. And so you'll see after we get to the close of the presentation that you'll have a path where, if you decide that you want to start sponsoring and you feel like you need some help and some support, we'll show you a way to be able to get that. So when I think about sponsoring, sometimes it's a little intimidating when you hear about it, because you start thinking about, do I want to lead other people? Because perhaps you've seen people like Jill Whitelight, Dot Reinhardt, Sandy Baum, Yara Sal, you've seen Linda Webster, you've seen other people that have shared the opportunity and are working with other individuals, and maybe you like what you see, and maybe you are not so keen in terms of what you see. Because when you begin to sponsor others, you really take on some responsibility to provide them with leadership that they are going to be looking for. And so when we think about starting out sponsoring, one of the first things that you have to do is really begin to build your knowledge base, not to an extent where you got to know every product in the line or anything like that, but just basic things that you want to know. But more importantly, as we talk about sponsoring, it really becomes you sharing your story. That's really the basis of how you're going to get people excited about what you're doing. And you have to make what you're doing look like it's fun, and not because you're pretending, but it really is. And so if you love what you're doing, it's not going to look like work. It's not going to look cumbersome, and people will tend to be drawn to you, even though it's really our responsibility to be listening and looking for hints and clues as to whether this is a person that we want to go a little bit deeper in our conversation. But the question that I have for everybody tonight is, do you know your brands? Do you know each one of the brands' history and what makes them great, where you could have a short and sweet conversation with someone that would get them excited? So I'm going to ask each one of you to just unmute and let me know if you know your brands. And even if you say, well, yeah, I know about Color Me Beautiful, I know about Floyd Roberts, I don't know about Adrienne Appel, I don't know about Gail Heyman. So it's okay. But do you know your brands and the history enough to be able to give a snippet or a compelling conversation with someone that you were trying to get interested in following in your footsteps?
I know enough to start them off, or maybe get them interested or ask more questions.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, with Color Me Beautiful, and Floyd Roberts being the first a line that has a multiple of foundations for women of color.
Gotcha.
Which was it in the unique colors in history, and then the Color Me Beautiful, which I found out when you mention that name, those two names, with people who familiar, I know they're like, oh, I know Color Me Beautiful, I've had that before. So that kind of makes me more comfortable talking about them. And then I was reading on the Inside Color Me with the Gail Heyman. Gail Heyman, I learned about all these when I joined, never knew. And then she's known for her, like, I would say not having to go to a doctor or to, what you call those?
To a plastic surgeon.
Yeah, plastic surgeon, to do your thing, to get what we call facelifts or tucks and skins, and her products. She's known for that within the Beverly Hills area. She started off there. Adrienne Appel is pretty strictly with the skincare, known too for being in the Beverly Hills area, talking about giving the things that you need, that you want, instead of paying thousands of dollars for and getting all that work done. You can actually get it within the programs they had, and they start off in spas and just branched out. And then Gail Heyman has makeup too. So to talk about those and then talk about how they go in there, I think I can give that much to pique their interest. And if they say, well, how can I learn more? What do I want to learn more from?
Okay. All right. That's good. Dot, you comfortable, sharing information about all the brands?
Yes. I don't carry everything in every brand, but but I'm comfortable. I am familiar with them.
Okay.
I carry mainly Adrienne Appel skincare, except I see the Underglow's in Color Me Beautiful.
Yeah, that's in Color Me Beautiful.
There are a few in Color Me Beautiful, and but I try to limit my inventory to the things that I believe in the most.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's smart. That's smart. Yeah, that's a good approach.
And that I sell the most of. Or I carry larger inventory in areas that I get more business in. Or if it's on sale, I stock up.
You stock up. Yeah, that's a good approach as well. So that's great. That's great. What about you, Florence?
Okay, so I'm not too up on all the brands. I mean, several years ago, I like I said, I came into the Floyd Roberts by sheer chance by walking in the store, and that's how I was introduced to her. And then over the years, the CMB had came online, and I just kind of glossed over that. And then I knew the Gail Heyman and the Adrienne Appel had also came on board, but I didn't get into the very details about that.
Gotcha.
But being in the Las Vegas area with them, starting to open back up, they have a lot of high-end stores.
Yes.
Yeah, And so, I see a market there.
Yes,
For
absolutely.
me, as far as going in there with some high-end products along their genre, and
Yeah.
say, okay, look, we can help stock you with these items.
Okay.
Why don't you, give them a few samples, try them on your clients. If you like them, give me a call back. So
Yeah.
we can go take it from there. So that was my game plan. That avenue.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. Jaquel, how are you comfortable? You feel comfortable in sharing about all of the brands or some?
Well, some, I would say some. I'm not too familiar with Gail Heyman.
Okay.
I know about Flory,
Mm-hmm.
but I do know Color Me Beautiful was started with that intention to get people more, give people more insight into what colors work best with their wardrobe.
Yes.
So that's definitely that seasonal analysis. Would definitely be something I would expound upon with Color Me Beautiful.
Yeah.
And then I'm aware that Adrienne Arpel has like department store quality skincare that they've just like, it's just innovative. I mean, it can rival the stuff that you find at Macy's and Nordstrom now. So, and then Flory, the first line for African-American women, and the stuff that they carry is just more of what I would call something that I would be more inclined to sell, because that's what I would use, but I am going to try to give Adrienne Arpel a try as well, just to expand my, my footprint a little bit, but as far as being comfortable with speaking about the brands, I'd say I'm more comfortable speaking about Flory because that's what I use.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And that's good. So I just want to share with you that we have on insidecolorme.com, you will find under training, you'll see the history of the brands, okay? And there's probably about 2 pages that have kind of 2 or 3 paragraphs about each brand. But you notice I said a short and sweet conversation, because when you're introducing someone in hopes of being able to get them excited about becoming a part of your sales force and your team, and trying to get them excited about coming into the business, shorter is better than a longer conversation. So what I did was, so all of this, like all of the things that you will see that we go through, I only highlight it so you can just see the really how short and sweet your conversation can be. When you're talking about Color Me Beautiful, it's really about the history of us being the color and the image and the leading authority in color analysis. And you can talk about the fact that we had a new all-time, New York best-selling book on the New York Times bestseller list all the way up until 1995. And then just highlighting being best known to help women select makeup colors to coordinate with their wardrobe. And so I would encourage you, if you don't feel as versed in all of the brands, to simply go on to insidecolorme.com and download it. I mean, and kind of you can take it, it's a Word document, and you can edit it and just do your bullet points so that you can come up with your short and sweet narrative that you're going to say to the clients. And then I don't believe in focusing so much on the year that the brand started, just because you don't want to, experience is good. You don't want the customer to see us as dated, but history is good in terms of the number of years that we've been doing it. So, with Floyd Roberts, it's real simple. We were the first prestige brand for women of color, for African-American women to ever be sold in a department store. I mean, that literally is a, probably a 15-second narrative that you can talk about. And then you could end it with the fact that we specialize in helping women even their skin tone out, because that's one of the main key, the key problems with women of color. So again, we simply are talking about just snippets of things that you can share with people to get them excited about the brands, because at the end of the day, when you're talking about sponsoring a person, they are buying into the products, the history of the brand. They're buying into a business that most people, when they start, they have high expectations and high hopes of what that business is going to do for them. So Adrienne Arpels, the same thing, sold throughout Europe in some of the best salons and beauty spas. And Adrienne Arpels was, you can talk about the first. That's probably a good theory and line of thinking to go with in terms of what was unique and what were we the first at, and then that will get people excited as well. So Adrienne Arpels, of course, was the first line of makeup and skincare to have licensed estheticians in department stores. And if you look today, you'll see Lauder doing it, Clinique doing it, Clarins, a lot of other companies are doing it today, but Adrienne Arpels was the first to introduce the whole concept of spa-like skin experiences brought into the environment of a department store. For the sake of time, I skipped Gail Heyman, but I encourage you to go on to Inside so that you can download, the couple of pages and you'll see all of this, but then just pick out and create your own little talking point sheet. So that when you're having a comment, and you'll memorize it. I mean, it's really short and sweet and to the point, and it doesn't require too much. So sponsoring really, when you think about it, so many people have made the whole idea of sponsoring feel, not all that fun, but it should be fun. And I think the more that you come across as loving what you do and, just having fun with it, people will be more apt to want to come in and do what you're doing and follow your lead. So instead of talking so much about sponsoring the word, because that label can, may come with some baggage in your mind, but just think about it's nothing but sharing what you love. And what are you sharing? You're sharing your love for the products. You can share your love for the fact that we have a culture of no restrictions. We don't tell you where you can go to sell. That is unique in today's world, okay? And it has been for a number of years. You can go to salons. As a Color Me Beautiful Floyd Roberts, you can go and sell in spas. You can set up at conferences and events. You can go into malls. I mean, so we really do, when we say that we work with entrepreneurs and we are the company for beauty entrepreneurs, we stand by that, because we really do not put any restrictions on you. We allow you to create whatever restrictions. You decide where you want to go, and you can limit yourself to one venue, or you can, expand to as many as you want. So we have a no restrictions culture. You should be spreading that and talking about that to the, till the roof comes off, because that is something that is a great selling point. The no pressure culture, when you think about a lot of companies, direct selling, multi-level marketing, network marketing, a lot of them put pressure on their business owners, particularly at the end of the month, to place orders. They're not really concerned about whether you can sell the product. They just want you to order it, because it, in the world of sponsoring, that person that brought you in is concerned about how she's going to reap and get financial rewards based on what you're ordering. And our philosophy is more, we want you to create a successful, strong business for yourself that marries up with the way that you want to do your business. Some people will decide that they want to carry inventory, and some will decide that they would prefer to sell online. But we are not a company, which is a great thing for you to promote. We don't put pressure on the consultants to do the business any other way other than the way that they want to do it and the way that they find themselves best suited to be successful. You all agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's something that is worth sharing, because it will be music to people's ears, because that is not how typically in this industry that it works. So when you're talking about sponsoring people, I can tell you that when people call into the office, the first thing they want to know, well, how much do I have to order every month? First question that comes out of their mouth. I say, you don't have to order anything, but we do ask if you want to be on the locator, and if you want to be able to earn commissions on online sales. We want you to treat your business like a business. So we have this $100 minimum. And some people don't even like that. They feel like that's too restrictive, okay? You have direct access to corporate office. If you decide, if you wanted to speak to Steve D'Antonio, you may have to go through his assistant, but he will call you back. And so you have direct access to corporate, and there's no question that you can ask that we're not willing to take the time to be able to get back with you and answer. Color analysis, that and image analysis are probably two of the most innovative and unique opportunities that we have for you to be able to share with other people. And believe it or not, a lot of people are looking for companies that they can not be like a cookie cutter. Okay, so because there's a lot of companies that sell skincare and makeup and do a lot of things, but not a lot of companies, when you put all of these things together, great products, 4 different brands that you can market, no restrictions, no pressure, direct access to corporate. These are all things that will help you to be able to attract people to your business. And the thing you have to do is be willing to share it, okay? And then what is sponsoring? It literally is nothing but sharing with other people, because I think we tend to create this box that we put people in that are doing the sponsoring, and we think that there's something unique about those that can sponsor, but the ones that are sponsoring are basically sharing and coming to a person offering help. Because when a person is new to a business and when they're talking to you about joining a business, they want to know that they're going to have somebody that's going to walk them through and not view their questions as being elementary, or, that they're not smart enough to be able to figure things out for themselves. No, we have to be willing to help. But one of the best things that I think sponsoring allows us to do is to build relationships and friendships. Okay, we can, you will meet people when you, and even if you talk to people and you're sharing the opportunity and they decide that they don't want to do the business, you'd be surprised the number of relationships that begin to be forged as a result of you just taking the time to share what it is about the business that you love and the products and so forth. Sponsoring has coaching, okay? It requires us to teach, because when you've got someone that you're introducing this business to, they're going to lean on you and be expecting you to show them where they can find out about the product. Some individuals that you bring in will almost, will sometimes want you to tell them everything. But one of the things that we encourage those that are sponsoring to do is you teach the person where to go to be able to get the information. If you do that, then you're training them and getting them set up so that they themselves are going to be able to go and do the same thing that you've just done in terms of sharing the opportunity. And make no mistake, the largest earners in direct selling are those that are not just selling themselves, that's a part of it, but they are sponsoring and introducing the business to other people. Ask talk to the people. I don't care what industry it is or what products they're selling. If you find the top producers, they've got organizations, they've got people that they have shared the opportunity with and the business, and they've been able to get them, tell them a compelling enough story and one that gets them excited. And most of the time is really about how the business has worked for you that convinces people to want to come on board. Okay, motivating. We have to be willing to encourage and motivate those that are coming in, because let's face it, when you've got a business, having a business of your own. And I tell people this as I'm working with them as they're getting ready to go into malls and open up stores and become distributors and all that. You'll never work as hard as you will when you own your business. It's easier when you work for somebody else, because when you're working for somebody else, they have the pressure and the responsibility to keep everything moving. But when you own your own business, it is reliant on you. And whether you're doing a home-based business or whether you've got a brick and mortar business, the responsibility is us. So we have to be, constantly looking to motivate, to teach, to encourage, and to provide for that person that we have introduced the business to, teach them how to fish. And in order to do that, we have to go through all this. But we basically, if you look at sponsoring as really you helping other people and building relationships and just simply sharing what you have learned, and you learn together on those things that perhaps both of you are still looking for knowledge on, it's a win-win for you and it's a win-win for those that you're introducing to. So what's required to sponsor? The number one thing for sponsoring is that you cannot teach a person to do something that you are not willing to do. You have to lead by example, okay? And that's just like me saying to you, I need you guys to go out there and get customers and make sales, but I'm sitting back and doing nothing. So one of the reasons why I decided to become a consultant when I was blessed to be able to get the opportunity to lead the direct selling, that was the first thing that I have to become a consultant, because I need to understand the challenges that the consultants face. What is it like? How difficult is it to get a new client? How difficult is it to recruit, sponsor other people? How difficult? So that's why, that's why I became a consultant first and foremost, is that I did not believe that I could teach something that I was not willing to do. Okay, we have to be, as somebody that is sponsoring other people, we have to be consistent. Okay, because if the people that you're introducing and bringing to the business, they are going to most likely do less than what you do. So if you're barely making it and barely doing your business, you can't expect the people that you have introduced and brought into the business and sponsored, you can't really expect them to do much better than you. Occasionally you'll run across somebody that comes in and they're a runner, and it almost puts pressure on you to keep pace with them. And that's good. I like the notion of having, pressure, having somebody come in that's going to run. Follow through, because so much of what sponsoring entails is you have to get back with the person. Okay, you have to, and you're going to see in just a minute as we get, when we get to the end, that everybody that you speak with should fall into one of three categories, and one of them happens to be that they could be a team member. But in every single case, you should convert them into one of three, which I'll tell you what those other two are later. Communication, you've got to be willing to share information. And if you are sponsoring people into this business, just like I'm coming on and doing Zoom, you really should be doing that and having training and discussions and conversations with your team, because you want them to see that you are truly leading them and providing the tools and showing them where the tools are, and you know, helping them to be successful. Because if we help other people, we automatically are going to be successful. It's just hands down. Okay. We also have to be sensitive to, you know, what people are going through. And, you know, because I meet and talk to people every single day that are interested in the business. And, you know, sometimes people will come and, you know, that they are not ready to get started with the business. So we have to be sensitive enough to share that with them, be honest with them, but do it so that they still feel like they can come back at some point and be able to decide to when things are better. Okay. A positive attitude. There is absolutely nothing worse than a person that is leading an organization and telling them about all of the bad things in their life personally and all that. We have to have a positive attitude, and we have to constantly be sharing things that are going to lift them up, you know. And you know, because if I think it was Diane Williams, who used to be our top leader with Color Me Beautiful. She would always say the speed of the team is the speed of the leader. And it's true. So if the leader's going slow and the leader's dragging and she's negative, all of her team members are going to take on that same tone. So if we're upbeat and we're positive and we're constantly encouraging and motivating other people, guess what? Your people are going to be happy and you know, excited about continuing to do. So the how, the where, and the who. Okay. So the how is basically, what's your why story? If I were to ask each one of you, you should have your why story so canned and so locked down in your mind that you would be able to, in 30 seconds or less, to be able to share your why story. Why are you doing what you're doing? And you know, because at that point, it's not about you trying to, you know, hustle or convince the person to do what you're doing. If you're sharing why you love it, it's going to motivate them, and it's going to get them in a position where they're going to be asking you questions because you're so excited about what you do. Okay. And so if you really are sharing your why story, and your why story is compelling, you know, I absolutely love helping women be able to look their best and get in their right colors. And, you know, it makes me happy when I see a person say, you know, or hear a person say to me that, you know, Tahira or Dot or Florence or Jaquel or anyone else, you know, it's because of them that I was able to look my best and I was able to get that job. Okay. So there's so many things. So our why story is so powerful, but you have to sometimes sit back and think about, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why did you choose Color Me Beautiful? Why was Floyd Roberts? I mean, because it doesn't matter, you know, even if one brand was the driver to get you interested into the business, that's okay. But what was it about it? You know, what is it about the products? You heard Dot say that, you know, she has her favorite products. Those are the products she stocks. And you can rest assured that those products that Dot loves, when she talks about it with passion and fervor, where the person that even has doubts, she's going to, and maybe the person doesn't even have the resources at that point, she's going to figure out a way to be able to get the product because she is so compelled by the story that Dot is sharing. Okay. And the how do you sponsor? You have to be listening and watching for signals. You know, a person that says, you know what, I'm looking to, I need to make some extra money, you know, and that's a hint to introduce the business. I love makeup. That's a hint, you know. So there's certain things that it just goes without saying that they are really clues for you to share. And I would venture to say that a lot of times that we will hear people giving us those signals and saying things like that, and we never take the time to share what our business is about. Okay. Ask questions. ask the person, find out more about them. Even if they come to you and express interest in your business, which is an easy sponsoring because they're coming to you and you haven't really reached out to them. Okay, but you want to ask questions, how would you like for me to work with you? So there's certain things that we need to do to be able to get the person interested in doing what we're doing, and then also closing them and getting them to a point where they are ready to move forward, and we can do what we can to help. Follow up, we just talked about that. And what I said to you earlier, that remember that everyone will fit into one of three categories. They either, and most people that you will probably end up sponsoring will probably start out as customers, quite honestly, because when they love your product, that's an easy sell. And most time we will have customers and we fail. We never ask them if they are, if you think, do you think you'd like to do what I'm doing? They may say no, but that's okay. But it's our responsibility to at least offer the opportunity. But a person, everybody that you come in contact with should either become a customer of yours, a team member of yours where you're sponsoring them, or a person that is going to refer other people to you to fall into one of those categories. So if you're meeting people and they're not falling into one of those three categories, then you have to look yourself in the mirror and honestly say, I haven't done what I should have done as a business owner, as a beauty consultant, as a beauty influencer, as an influencer in the beauty industry, okay? And the how, if you want to sponsor people, you can go to Inside, copy and paste a picture of the contents. Most of the times when I am, because I will sometimes have people that inquire in, and inevitably, if I send them a pic of the starter kit, tell them how much product, because both of them have over $500 worth of products in there. It's only it's $99 plus shipping and handling, okay, for a total of $119. And there's no, you don't have to buy inventory. You only have $100 in sales to be able to do. You can make 30%. It's quick, it's easy. You tell them the high points and the rest of it will be history. Okay. And so you send them a pic with the contents and the value of the kit. And the last thing that you would do if you're interested in really sponsoring is send them a link to the FAQ, the most frequently asked questions, because what that will do is save a lot of time. It will answer questions. And then when you finally, set up a time to have a voice-to-voice conversation with the individual, they'll either be ready to go ahead and sign and order their kit, or they'll have very few questions. But there's a link. If you go on to Inside Culinary and go to sponsoring, you'll see at the bottom of the page, it'll say frequently asked questions. You click on that, copy that link, send it out to people. It will answer all their questions. And you don't even have to, and then, but it's good for you to look at it as well, because you may not know the answers to those questions, but it's very concise. It answers all the questions that 99.9% of people that are interested in a business like we have will ask you, okay? All right, we're getting there. We almost finished. The where are you going to sponsor? Anywhere that you go, okay? It doesn't matter. You should always have your business cards with you. You should have some little flyer or a postcard or something that you can share with somebody that will tell them what you do, have your information on it, and tell them that this is something that you're looking for other people that want to do what you're doing. They may not do it, but guess what? They may, I've got a cousin that would be perfect because she loves makeup and she's always spending money on makeup. This is a way for her to be able to earn some money while she is doing what she loves, okay? So wherever you are that you're able to have conversations are ideal places for you to be able to have conversations. The people that you know for sure, most of us have a fear of sharing what we do with people who know, thinking we assume that they don't want to hear about it. But that's the worst mistake that you can make, okay? When you're doing with your customers, like I said before, are generally going to be some of your best people to sponsor, okay? Because when they love the product, that's half the battle right there. But then you'll have people to say, oh, you know, I don't want to sell. I don't want to have to talk to people. Well, you know what? That's the case. Well, you know what? Why don't you just introduce me to some of your friends, and I'll enjoy. You can stay my customer. I'm going to take the best care of you. But again, everybody that you come in contact with should fall into one of those three categories. And if they're not, you can't blame anybody other than the person looking in the reflection in the mirror. Look in the mirror, because that's you, okay? At events, wherever you're going, you know, we're opening, the markets are opening back up now. I can't wait until I can go start doing conventions and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know about you, but I've got a renewed sense of you know, kind of going after it and really making this business all that it can be for me. Now that I've been locked up since COVID started, I'm ready. I'm ready to go and do the Deltas and the AKAs. I want to go everywhere the women are. I don't care where they are, as long as it's within driving distance. Okay. So, but that's it. I mean, so, you know, and then the who. Most of your people that you're going to sponsor are going to be people that you know initially, okay? And most will start as customers. They really will. And so every one of us have customers. The $1 million question that you should ask yourself when we get off this Zoom is, have I told all of my customers how much I love doing what I do? And if you have not, then that would be a reason why you have not sponsored anybody, okay? And if you meet someone or you know someone that knows people who love beauty, love color, I mean, you can sometimes spot people just walking down, you know, now that we're kind of out and about, you know, and people are taking their mask off and all that, you can spot people that love color and love fashion because they don't fit in. They walk to a rhythm that is all their own, okay? So the who is really anybody that is open to and excited about beauty and open to starting their own business. Anyone that is that loves people, helping people, all of the things that we talked about as characteristics that we need to have, you'll see those come up in other people, okay? Anyone who wants a beauty business and people who are coachable. That is important too when you're thinking about sponsoring, because you want to, you know, look for people that are willing to learn. You know, sometimes, you know, you can have somebody come in that, you know, kind of knows it all and all that, and sometimes they will be good, and you know, you just have to let them go and do their own thing so you don't get frustrated, okay? Because sponsoring means that you will end up a lot of times internalizing kind of the personality of the people you're working with. So you have to balance that out as well, okay? And then the benefits. What are the benefits of sponsoring? Because anything that you do, you want to know, okay, so what's in it for me? What is it? Okay. First of all, if you've never, if you've never worked with adults, okay, in terms of leading them and working with them and guiding them and giving them instruction and coaching them, you're going to develop some strong leadership skills, you know, in the course of sponsoring and working with other people. So your leadership skills are going to be strengthened. And the benefit is also that you are going to not be completely reliant upon, in terms of the financial rewards, just what you're able to do as an individual. Okay. And I think that there was a saying when I first started the business that it's better to get 1% of what 100 people are doing than 100% of what you or me are doing as an individual. And that's true. That's absolutely true. So, so the benefits are financial. The benefits are developing great leadership skills. And also one of the key benefits is that you will build lifelong relationships, even with people. I mean, there's people, my best friend, we started working together with Floyd Roberts, and then she became a consultant. But then she saw an opportunity to be able to join forces with another direct selling company. But guess what? She's still my best friend, okay? And we share ideas. I call her, she calls me. She buys product from me, I buy product from her, okay? So it's still a win-win-win. So lifelong relationships will be built as a result of you sponsoring and getting involved in helping other people to be able to do the business. So after hearing all of this, you feel like you need some help sponsoring. Okay, well, pick up the phone, call your sponsor, because we encourage everybody. Jaquel will tell you, when she first called in, and she and I were talking about the business, I said, I know someone that's in Pittsburgh that I think you should connect with. Because when people call me, if I know that that the person is, has all these attributes in terms of leading and coaching and positive and all that, I'm going to refer them to individuals that are contacting us from that area. So contact your sponsor first and tell them you need help. And one of the things, the way that it's generally done is that if you introduce the opportunity, what you would say, you know what, I want you to meet the person that brought me into the business, and they're going to, because I'm fairly new, and they're going to tell you all of the great things about the company. Then after they do that, then you and I will talk, and we'll talk about how you get started. Okay, so you can go that way. If your sponsor is not available and you want somebody to talk, you can contact me. I'll be happy to do that, sweet and short and sweet kind of conversation with them to get them excited. And then I'm gonna turn them back over to you. And then the other thing that works well, and this is something that I may begin to do, I may take one of these Tuesdays and open it up where you can invite your guest, and that Tuesday training time will be devoted to presenting the opportunity to your guests. But if you've got 10 or more guests, people that that want to hear about the business, and you feel like it could be an opportunity for you to be able to get them into the business, and you know that you can get them on to a Zoom, I will host for you a presentation, okay? Get them excited about it and then turn them right back over to you for you to be able to close them out, okay? So, so if you need help, the help is here for you. And, but the most important thing that we can do is really make a decision if we want to grow our business beyond us as an individual. So if you're comfortable being a Lone Ranger and you don't want to have responsibility and coach and train and lead other people, that's fine. But if you do, it will be rewarding for you in a number of ways. But there is a way to do it that will lead you to a path that will make you not regret going down that path. Okay, any questions? Dot Reinhardt has an organization. Dot, I don't know if you want to just share in a few words of what you found being sponsoring other people, how that works for you.
Well, let's see. I had one join recently that came to have her colors done knowing that she wanted to do it already. And she had already been on the Color Me Beautiful website and read all about it. And she was so delightful. Okay. And put her picture with her Color Alliance lifestyle palette on Facebook. Okay. And was telling all about how wonderful Dot Reinhardt was. Oh, okay. That's awesome. But over the years, a lot of the people I have sponsored were with my former company, which was Beauty for All Seasons. And I had network of 100, almost 200 consultants in that, but a lot of them were ready to retire.
Okay. Okay.
And a lot of them sent me their clients.
Okay.
Gave me their client list. And, Peggy Mayer was with them, and she's deceased now, and Colette, and she's in a assisted hospice. And I've had another couple that have won. True Jean died. So I'm losing some.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, what I heard you say, and I think that's powerful too, is that the people that you bring into a business, they generally will follow you wherever you go. Okay. So, and, so what, and that's in building relationships, you will go through life issues, some may go through sickness and all that kind of stuff. So, so it's relationships though, because you have relationship with all of these individuals, even though some may have failing health or, may have gone on to glory. But the bottom line is that all of the things that we've talked about in terms of sponsoring, kind of are in play with what you've done, particularly with the relationships and them looking to you for leadership and guidance. So
that's one of the things I've enjoyed so much about my business is making dear friends.
Yeah, that's it.
And a lot of these dear friends that are retired depend on me to advise them what skincare and makeup items.
Yes.
And I can compare what we had before. Sorry, we lost Alpha-Ceuticals, but I'm so glad we got Papaya Cleanser back.
Yeah. So, so the thing is, so if nothing else, you have, heard just validation and confirmation that what we've talked about in terms of what sponsoring can mean for you is real. Okay. So it's just, again, you have to decide that this is going to be a path that you're going to go after. And it really is a numbers game. I will share that with you as well, because not everyone that you bring into the business is going to do what you want them to do or what you ask them to do. Some will come in and they will run for a minute and then they'll fall back. So it's a numbers game. So if you want to ultimately be able to get, a team of 100, you're probably going to have a team that are doing something. You're probably going to have, I think it's 30%, and then 10% of those will actually, 30% of the people that you talk to will do something, okay? And then 10% of those, you'll probably be able to get them interested in the business. So it really is a numbers game, okay? So 10, 30, that means 3. And then if 10% of that means you don't even have a whole person that you're going to end up getting. So it is a numbers game. It's a numbers game. Okay. So, but at any rate, I'm not going to tarry long. We have had good conversation tonight. I thank you for joining us. And like I said, next week, we're going to look and see if we can get a guest on to be able to, show us some different techniques on application and all that, because the more we can learn to and just hone up on our skills, the more confident we are. And then also it gives us an opportunity to be able to spread our wings in terms of expanding our customer base. So thank you for joining. And
thank you, Ms. Sharon.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Sharon.
Okay. So listen, you guys have a wonderful rest of the evening, and watch out for, who we'll have on for our guest next week. Okay. Thank you for joining us.
All right. Good night.
All right.
Thank
you.
Have a good night.
Before you go, Sharon, I forget. Before you go, do you have those cicadas out there with you?
I sure do.
The cicada.
The cicadas are
It's disgusting. I wish they'd go away.
I know, honey. If I could put some makeup on them and sell them, if they had a credit card, that'd be good.
Well, I tell you,
The people out there eating them, that's
Hey,
gross.
Linda, I didn't know you were on. How you doing?
Me?
Yeah, I didn't know you were on.
I was incognito. I'm on. Hi.
Hey, how you doing? We were talking about you as a sponsor.
I heard. Thank you so much.
I guess I'm glad I didn't say nothing bad about you. Yes, indeed, honey. But anyway, you look good.
Thank you, dear.
I tell you, every time you come on, you end up showing your 36 Bs.
I don't understand how that's and they ain't even they ain't even bees,
Now
I
we
don't
see.
think. Okay, so is it
Now
I
we
can't
see
see
your face.
y'all. I can't see the screen, so I have no idea what
Process.
your view is. I don't know
Oh,
how to
okay.
change that.
Okay.
Oh, there I am.
Now,
So I
now
have to-
you're sitting down and we can see you like from chest up. But before,
I had it.
picture
I
this.
had my phone sitting on the top. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So sorry. Not like I got a whole
honey,
lot to
it's
show.
just fun. I love it when you do it because I'm like, okay, there she's at it again. She's on the runway. She's on the runway.
So
Yeah.
sorry about that.
So,
But it's good seeing everybody. Hey, Jaquel. Did she get off?
she may have, yeah. And Jaquel's been playing with her eyes and her brows and all that. So
She's
getting on.
really enthusiastic. She's doing a good job.
Yeah. Okay, ladies. Well, it's been real. Thank you for joining us. And like I said, we'll have this ready for replay, in the next few days, and then you can share it with other folks and let them see how we, just engage and all that kind of stuff if you're trying to sponsor more people and build a team. All right. Have a good evening. Thank you.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.